Hello there.
Hello there. I'm Robert.
And I'm Vanessa.
We are late to the party.
I love the fact that we're like, it was a perfect intro, but all three of us were like, oh, that wasn't right.
One more. Right. We're going to keep going on. The show must go on, as Vanessa was just singing before we got into this video. Travis, hello. How are you?
Hi there.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi, guys. Better late than never. Episode 6, and we are
for
here. Animation theme. We're gonna see by that time we get to like the 6th video in our little theme, things go.
So
off
what's
the
going on? If you guys haven't been paying attention, we've been doing animation, and the trailers of classics, staying away from Disney, staying away from
Disney. Basically.
Now this upcoming one, I'm bending my own rules slightly.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So it is done. It's done through a Disney subsidiary.
Okay.
And it's not full animation.
Okay. Well, neither was Rockadoodle.
So let's just watch this right now.
Okay.
Because I think you might have an idea.
Page Master.
Oh.
Page Master.
You know that movie's only like an hour long?
I love that movie.
Yeah, look it up. It's like crazy short.
That's how I watched Touchstone. Okay. I get it.
Mommy's going to the beauty parlor, darling. But I'm leaving you with your favorite friend, Roger. He's going to take very, very good care of you. Because if he doesn't, he's going back to the science lab.
Cut! What the hell was wrong with that take? Nothing with you, baby Herman. You were great. You were perfect. You were better than perfect. Just Roger. He keeps blowing his lines. Roger.
It's not
What's this? A tweeting bird? Tweeting bird? Roger, read this. Look what it says. It says rabbit gets clunked, rabbit sees stars. Not birds, stars! Can we lose the playback, please? You're killing me, killing me. For crying out loud, Roger. How many times do we have to do this damn scene? No! I'll be in my trailer. Taking a nap. Excuse me,
Please, Raoul, I can give you stars. Just drop the refrigerator in my head one more time.
Drink up on your head 23 times already.
I can take it. Don't worry about me.
I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about the refrigerator.
This is the tale of an up-and-coming movie star named Roger Rabbit and a down-and-out private detective named Eddie Valiant.
Booga booga.
Every moment they were together was a new adventure in trouble.
Hide me, Eddie. Please.
It's a motion picture about friendship.
Take it easy, will ya? Please, Eddie. Don't tell me you're making a big mistake.
Love. Compassion.
Well, I'm sorry I yanked your ears.
All the time he yanked my ears.
Murder.
Marvin Acme. A rabbit cacked him last night.
Remember, you never saw me.
Sex.
I'd do anything for my husband, Mr. Valiant. Anything.
I caught you with your fist.
Twos. Gets him every time.
You wouldn't have any idea where the rabbit might be?
Got a thing for rabbits.
The whole thing stinks like yesterday's diapers.
It's a comedy a little different from all the rest.
I'm a pig. I'm a tomb.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Kathleen.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or you just happy to see me?
Touchstone Pictures and Steven Spielberg present a Robert Zemeckis film.
We told stay idiotic. We're not stupid.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Man.
I love Roger the Rabbit.
Alan Silvestri did the score for Who Framed Roger Rabbit as well.
Robert Zemeckis makes sense.
Robert Zemeckis, and you got Spielberg in there. It's funny because when we first started the animation, it was presented by Spielberg, and we end it with presented by Spielberg. You kind of had a little prelude to what's to come with Rockadoodle with the live action and animation.
Yeah, I totally planned it that way.
Yeah.
I totally did.
But yes, let's just dish over Who
Well,
Framed
let me
Roger
ask the
Rabbit.
question, get it out of the way. Would you see it based on this trailer?
Yes.
Yes, I cried.
Yes.
I cried. Are
One
you
thing I want to
kidding
mention
me?
before we get into the conversation, did you guys know this was based off of a book?
I didn't know it was based off a book.
It's Who Censored Roger Rabbit by Gary K. Wolfe.
We had that come up recently.
Yeah, we did have that come up
I didn't realize that was like a full-on book, though.
No, it was a book.
Really? That's interesting to hear. Now I want to check it out.
Yeah. I love this movie, and I'm sure you love this movie.
Right.
I'm sure you love this movie.
Of course.
We love it so much, or he loves it so much that he still has his doll.
I still have my Roger Rabbit from
have
when
it.
it first was released, and I remember that the first time I watched Roger Rabbit, there was a scene when he's in the alley crying because Jessica broke his heart, and he's just. I started bawling because it's Roger Rabbit, and I was so I loved him to the point where. I just loved who he was. He was so innocent at the time, and then when he got so hurt, I was just emotions. No, yeah, grew full, Scrooge. And I still have my. Oh yeah, it says right there, based on the book, Who Censored Roger Rabbit. I still have my Roger Rabbit to this very day, and it's funny because Roger Rabbit did end up becoming such a big part of Disney, but was still kind of
Which is
separate,
very-
but
Right,
equal,
because
I guess.
Touchstone is a subsidiary of Disney.
Right.
You know, Amblin is Steven Spielberg's
Right.
thing.
Right.
But what was crazy about filming this, because if you guys have seen it,
Yeah.
spoilers if you haven't, and if you haven't watched it,
What are you doing?
turn
Go
it off
watch
right now, go watch it, come back.
Right.
You see the scenes where there's Mickey and Donald Duck
Mm-hmm.
and Roger Rabbit. Oh my God, Bugs Bunny.
They talk about.
In other words, you had.
So
yeah.
they had
Talk about
scenes.
Bambi.
Right.
They have scenes.
But
that-
it's Disney and you've got Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers and Disney made an agreement that they can have their characters in their movie, but they have to have the same screen
Amount of time, yeah,
So Mickey
screen
and Bugs
time.
Bunny had the same screen time. Daffy Duck and Donald Duck had the same screen time, and it worked just so perfectly
Right.
that it just mended well. But because I think it's because this Touchstones is owned by Disney, they kind of absorbed it more, and that's why Roger Rabbit appeared in the theme parks during the 90s.
Which is so funny too because it's so perfect, especially
Same with
that
Dick
part
Tracy.
where he's falling from the building, and then you see.
Do you want my spare?
You see,
You
Mickey,
don't want
You
it.
see Mickey Mouse, and you see Bugs Bunny flying, and then he's like, "I don't think he wants it." So
No, give me the spare, give me the spare. You
Yeah,
don't
what was
want
it? Disney
I don't
talking about Infinity War, the most ambitious crossover ever? Hell nah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
That was
so much.
definitely one
and
that
not
was
just
over the
that.
top.
I mean, this was a digital feat. Like the special effects were amazing. They were ahead of their time. They didn't have the computer power that they do
to
today.
be fair,
for it.
I think that this movie holds up now.
It does,
It's
absolutely.
like a lot of the other movies later that had the animation and the thing doesn't really hold up, but this one does.
the fact that
it's
they've
a
been
period
talking,
piece too.
absolutely, they've been talking about making sequels for this one for years.
Yeah.
So of
I
course
feel
it-
like it's one that you can't really do anymore.
Rest in peace, Bob Hoskins.
Yeah,
but-
I think
Yeah,
we're
Bob
kind of away
Hoskins
with
is
him.
definitely one that is iconic. Eddie Valiant. The only way that you could possibly do this is if you took it at a different time frame to where Valiant is off, he's doing his own thing,
and he has a
you don't
kid,
have
and maybe
him.
it's his kid now, which
possibly.
or a completely
usually-
different character.
or a
but-
completely different character, and they just use the same. And obviously, the characters would be the same.
The thing I love about this movie
Kathleen
is,
Turner's a little rough in the voice,
True.
vocal area. So
but this movie it didn't say we're goofy, we're cartoons. It said this is the real world, and we just happen to live with cartoons while they have their own world. So that's why you see them walking down the street the same as
It
everyone
just
else.
made it
In the
seem
studio
like
lot doing their own things.
cartoons, even though they are drawn, it's not. They're real. You know
Yeah,
what I
they
mean? Instead
exist.
of it
They're creations.
it's
Right.
with the movies, they actually live in this world, and that's why they have
Right, you see them
cartoons.
walking through the lot, and you see people practicing their lines or trying to get to the next scene or whatever.
yeah, they want to be picked up for the next top film, and a lot of them were. It has to cast a Fantasia.
Boop, boop, beep, boop. Still
got it. He still got it. And can we talk about back in the day when villains were villains? You had one of the best over-the-top villains, and we talked about him already as Rasputin in Anastasia.
Yeah.
But Christopher Lloyd as Judge Doom in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, fantastic! And the twists that come with Judge Doom, and how he ended up having the weasels with him as these little lackeys that would do everything.
You idiots! You're gonna
die like your idiot hyena cousins.
I never saw the ending of this movie. The whole evil part of him at the
Yeah.
end, where the swords come out of his eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't see that until I was 15 years old. My mom, you know, typical mom back then was like, it's scary, close your eyes. It would close my eyes because
I was what?
Honest,
4?
that is a scary scene.
When I had the little Roger Rabbit, it came in a car too. It came in with the cab, and it was like
I get it,
the
but
box and everything.
Can't tell
you
me.
Move it around.
You can't tell me that scene where he becomes the cartoon.
Bang.
He talked like this.
It's scary.
It is scary, and his eyes just.
That's music too.
Scary. Alan Silverstreet, man.
Silvestri killed it.
Silvestri. I always script his name. That's all right. At least I didn't think he was your sister.
Bob, that was a different trailer action. Bob Hoskins, though, man, the way that he was capable of interacting with all these different non-existent beings.
Again, it was ahead of its time. It wasn't something that was part of the normal.
Yeah.
And I ever watched the behind the scenes?
Oh, I was
they
just
talk
about
it.
that up.
You can't. They didn't hold their soda like this, like you would. It had to close the fingers because the animators couldn't draw in and make it look without it being all blurry and gross. But he did it so smoothly, you never notice. Like when
I
he's
remember
choking
seeing
Roger Rabbit.
The guns like on strings floating around.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
They had to fill it all in later. I love the behind the scenes, especially. I remember there was that rumor that came out shortly after, a couple years later, where it was talking about there's a sequel because Eddie is going to be a cartoon. But that was before, you got the ins and outs of deleted scenes and all that, because it had leaked out in the trailer that there's a scene where he's wearing the pig mask that he gets when he's in Toontown and gets kicked out of Toontown wearing the pig mask. And he, holy smokes, I'm a Toon. And everyone's like, oh my God, there's another Roger Rabbit. And it never happened because that was just a deleted scene.
And just the movie itself is fun and whole, but it does have character and it has a lot of heart. And one of the scenes I love is when they're handcuffed together. And he's trying to cut it out. And he's like, can you stop moving? And he pulls out the hand and he just goes there and just watches. And he's still sawing. And he's like, what are you doing? Well, I can't do it. Like you said.
You mean you could have done it the whole time?
You could have gotten out of these cuffs anytime? No, not at any time. Only when it was funny. Ready? Where's your sense of humor? And that's the thing, is those comedic tropes that a lot of those cartoons utilize.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season. Those...
You do.
Yeah, you don't.
I do.
You don't. I do. I do. You don't. I do. When I say I do, this means I do. Bring! Like his eye gets all big. Roger Rabbit, I would say, is by far one of my top 10 favorite films of all time.
I could say
Let's be honest, guys. You guys had a huge crush on Jessica Rabbit.
Still do.
Kathleen Turner was fantastic as Jessica Rabbit.
You have wet dreams about her, don't you?
Damn, girl, you get a little vulgar. No,
I mean,
for me,
we don't talk
it was
about
Roger.
that.
It was Roger. Those freaking overalls and that tail and the nose. I used to love it.
But to be fair, I think the most that's iconic is Jessica Rabbit.
Sure, I mean they always talk to her as the
Not
most.
when I was 5.
No,
when you're 5, it's Roger Rabbit.
But she is considered that sex symbol of cartoons. Like if you look at the most sexiest cartoons, she's probably one of them that pops up the most.
And you see a lot of cosplayers to this day still portray Jessica Rabbit when you go to any cons. But yeah, I absolutely love those films.
Great scenes. I love that scene where he goes into Toontown, that tunnel. That's using so many movies. So many movies. I always think of that. I always think of Roger Rabbit when I see that tunnel in every movie. Even
of course, yeah. Back to the Future.
I still think of Roger Rabbit though for that.
Well, I don't know. He went that way. Well, let's go.
Hello, Eddie.
Quotable, yeah. Quotable on every level. We can sit here, we could talk Roger Rabbit for hours. That's why we usually save the good ones for last. At least he's accidentally setting the good ones for last.
Well, this one may have been planned, but that Titanic one, completed coincidence.
That was completely randomized. We love Roger Rabbit. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. We are also going to be giving a behind-the-scenes look at the last 6 trailer reactions that we did for Better Late Than Never.
You Patreons will get a different angle of us.
Yeah, that's essentially all you're getting. We're going to give you a behind-the-scenes look of in between the takes of what we do to put these Better Late Than Never videos together, and you can get that if you are a member of our Patreon. In fact, you can get that available now. So,
and also to those Patreons, if you have any themes you want to do for next time around, you let us know. You guys are the ones that paved the way for this, and I know you have some good ideas. Just share them.
For sure. So thank you guys so much. You can like and subscribe.
And do the thing on our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust.
All the social networking ginger ants, you know where they are. Kicking the party, feel the party, keep the party going at our Patreon. Gets you these episodes a few days earlier. Gets you the behind the scenes of Better Late Than Never. and gets you the first crack at getting basically what themes are down the road for us. So thank you guys. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
And I'm going to go play with my Roger Rabbit now.
Not in a few. We'll just bye.